know part of your story that you were dressing as Spider-Man, and you were doing that for children's events.
In college, yeah, they had like a Halloween parade every year, and there was like a Montessori school, and so I would be the head of the Halloween parade, and then I would go and talk to the kids and 4-H clubs and things like that. So it was really fun.
Now that was one of your first setbacks, because the word got out how popular your appearances were, and Marvel asked you to stop appearing?
No, actually it was my mom. In college I'd made a 10-minute, origin of Spider-Man film. And my mom thought it was great, as moms do, and she sent it to Marvel and said, hey, here's something that my son made. And then so Terry Stewart, who was the president of Marvel at the time, sent me a letter and said, hey, you can't do this. This is our intellectual property, and I wanted him to know it was a fan film, and that's what's great is now I feel like with the internet, the environment is much more open. People that make Batman films and films with other characters, they don't, I don't think they get letters like this because it's openly accepted that people are making these kind of fan films because the movies don't come out often enough for big fans of superheroes. So, and at that time, no Spider-Man origin movie had come out, and basically we had a film competition in our college. It was called the Titular Head Film Contest, and you had like 10 minutes to make a film, and then they would all be shown at the festival. And I chose to make the origin of Spider-Man as my film. So they kind of got a misunderstanding of what I was doing. But my mom did it out of love. She wanted them to know that I was on the planet and that I existed and that I was very passionate about it. And I just went on and did other things, and then eventually Marvel hired me to be a Spider-Man. So I kind of felt like, everything was okay at that point because they were really mad at me. They probably wouldn't have hired me to be Spider-Man. So.
But at the time, as someone who is passionate and who enjoyed the character as much, that as an artist,
like take some wind out of my sails. Honestly, I wasn't deterred. I had already started a second fan film, and it didn't keep me from completing it. What it did do is it made me realize that I had tried to do the first one with respect and to the character and everything else, and I realized that sometimes people don't do that. They don't have a lot of respect for the character or for the rights, or they maybe try to make something and sell it. And I never did that. I never tried to sell the movie. It was never for money. It was always as a fan film. And so I can understand them being, kind of upset about that. But I just want to make sure that when I did the second movie, everyone was very clear that it was a fan movie and wasn't for money. And then we did a movie called The Scorpion Sting, and I had the Scorpion in the second movie. And so, yeah, so that was pretty fun.
Now, I want to ask you about your original feedback costume.
Yeah!
Did you also design that completely yourself?
Absolutely.
What was the biggest challenge for you with the costume?
Biggest challenge was the emblem, the superhero emblem that I made, because, the other parts I could purchase, right? The vest was a paintball vest that I got from like Sports Chalet or something like that. And then the pants and all the padding and the armor looking stuff was all motocross stuff that I'd gotten from like Chaparral Motorsports. So I'd put the basic costume together from different pieces. The belt was a scuba diving belt, and so. But the emblem I really needed, I had to make like a gasket type of a fitting so that the emblem could be flat, because the paintball vest that I had was ribbed and it had kind of some musculature in it. So I had to go there's a craft store called Michael's, and I got something called Bake and Bend. And Bake and Bend clay is something that you can mold it and then bake it and it's still flexible. So I had to sculpt by hand the gasket so that it would fit perfectly onto the breastplate, and then also fit the diamond-shaped emblem that I had come up with. So it's very challenging to do that.
That'd be very informative for a lot of people that incorporated things that they've been by with their own unique.
Yeah, I and a lot of people have asked me how do I make like a costume, and I should probably do like a full detailed synopsis of everything that I did, because seriously, I looked. The original concept of the character was that the body had to be entirely covered to keep back the feedback field. So I had a mask, I had gloves, I had boots. Because one of the things I loved about Spider-Man is that since he was masked, he could be anyone, you know. And I wanted to do that as well. I wanted feedback, you know, to be a character that anyone could be. But when I got to the open call auditions, I noticed that anyone who was wearing a mask was invisible. Like you didn't even know they were there, because it's people's faces that people really identify with. So I had to kind of, you know, disrupt that part of the character origin in order to just make it work for the show. So I never put my mask on.
Yeah, I was seriously wondering about that. That's very important.
Yeah. So I would say to anyone who's considering doing Superhero 3, if the season comes out, don't cover any more than 10% of your face. Really. I mean, and you may not even want to do that, because even though we all know that superheroes wouldn't expose their secret identity, a reality show is a little bit different. That is the whole heart of the show.
Season 3.
Season 3.
This season you did exit interviews with the cast. Are you interested in returning in the same capacity, or would you like to see, if you had the opportunity, would you be involved in a greater capacity?
Oh, I've always wanted to be involved to help make up some of the challenges, to, you know, in any way that I could. I was amazed that I got to be involved in season 2. You know, originally it was going to be Major Victory who did the interviews, and so things kind of fell through on that. And in some ways, though, I mean, it's not a very happy time during the elimination. So, I mean, Major Victory's really good at the humor, but I'm not sure that at that point people are ready for the humor. You've gone through all of this effort and all of this trial to get to this point, and now you've been eliminated. You're not going to continue. It's not really a happy time, you know. So I like that opportunity to help people get from that space of being eliminated to seeing that good things are still going to come out of this, and it was great to be able to be there for them in that. For season 3, if they wanted to use, I'm sure, you know, the diffuser should be used for season 3, because, you know, I was the winner of season 1. I got to be involved in season 2. If he won season 2, I think he should be able to be involved in season 3, because I don't want to be greedy about this. You know, I want everyone to have an equal opportunity to experience, you know, everything I've gone through, and I'd love for season 3 to happen, because then that would mean more people could get a chance to be in the lair, you know, to prove to Stan that they have what it takes to be a superhero.
Big part of your ability to interview the exit heroes, I think, is your understanding of the emotional journey. Even though you succeeded, I think you really connected with that part of it. And you feel that's...
I do, because I know how devastated I would have been just to be there. If I had been eliminated, how devastated I would be. And so I just always tried to be conscious of that. And it's something that really made a huge difference in my life. And I think a lot of people, even just being on the show for a short period of time, it still changed their lives.
Whether it's for your kid or from when you were a kid, Cloud City Comics has it all. For the newest and most unique collection of comics, action figures, anime, and Godzilla, check out the selection here. Only Cloud City Comics has the most original toys and Hello Kitty merchandise found in New York State. Cloud City Comics. Now open on Erie Boulevard in DeWitt. We're totally serious about you having fun.